welcome. Good to have us here. We'll be starting in a few seconds, actually. I'm just trying to get this on YouTube and then we are good to go. All right, and that is that. So, good evening, everyone. Let me know wherever you're joining in from, whether you're watching now or you're watching after now. I really, really appreciate you. Please confirm to me that you can see me and you can hear me very clearly. My name is Pelumi Adeuyi, and I'm your coach for this evening. Thank you very much for your response. And I'm really, really excited to be doing this with us today. Hopefully, some other people joining as we proceed. Some people are natural latecomers, um, sadly, but surely I'm sure they'll be here eventually. Um, so this evening we are here for the leadership ceiling no one talks about. And I can assure you that you're in for a great time. I've looked forward to this evening for a while, even though I've been so busy, but I'm still really excited about everything that we're going to be discussing because I know that this is very, very, very useful and important for us. I am very, very sure about that this is very useful and very important for us as leaders, as professionals, as those that wear multiple hats, you know, that wear multiple hats generally. So I want you to know that you are in the right place, and I know that this is going to be very, very valuable for you. It's going to be very good um, time, a valuable time for you. I'm very, very sure. That. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay, I think we are good to go. So, what are your expectations for today? What are your expectations? Let me know. Let me know what your expectations are. Let me know what your expectations are. Tell me in the comment section what your expectations are this evening as we start um, to discuss. I'll be sharing my screen um, right away. Right away, I'll be sharing my screen. Just give me a moment. Please confirm to me when you can see my screen that you can see my screen. Let me put this in the... Please confirm to me that you can see my screen. And then let's get to it very quickly. Confirm to me, please, that you can see my screen. Okay, I can see the chats coming in. I want to believe you can. All right. So who's ready for tonight? Tell me if you are ready. Ready, 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 ready. On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you for the things that we're going to learn tonight? I am so excited, really, really excited. Okay. So we're talking about the leadership ceiling that no one talks about. And if you're new in this space, you might probably just be wondering, what is this again? What is this about? But that's why you're here, right? That's why we're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about the fact that as leaders, we could hit some ceilings in our roles, in our lives, in the multiple things that we handle, right? And if nothing is done about it, it's going to cause some kind of pressure that we didn't envisage that was going to happen. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I think some people are in the waiting room. Please, Team Toke, if you are there, kindly help me to bring people in. Bring people in. I kindly, okay, I've done that. So thank you. All right. Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome. And we are live. All right. So Dave, we're talking about something that most leaders don't realize they've encountered. That's the interesting part about the things that we want to talk about tonight. Many people don't realize that they've encountered this until it starts to affect how their life feels, right? And this is what I have called the leadership ceiling. Not in your ability, not in your opportunities, but in the structure of your life. So you can experience ceiling. You can experience the ceiling. I mean, practically look at it when we're talking about ceiling. What is a ceiling? Ceiling is like the top of the house, the roof of the house. So a leader, many times the leader doesn't even know that they are going through this until it starts to affect how their life feels. And it is not in their ability, it is not even in their opportunities because I mean, you as a leader, you as a professional, and somebody that handles multiple roles, you probably already have a lot of opportunities going on for you. But where we really have that ceiling coming in is in the structure of your life. And that is what we've come here to talk about. It is when your life becomes the limit of your growth. And we really don't want that to be us, right? Now, growth starts with efforts, but it doesn't end there. Growth starts with putting in the effort. You're doing all the right things that you want to do. At the beginning of your journey, growth is quite simple. You work harder, you learn more, you stretch yourself, and it works. Of course, it does work because, I mean, it produces the kind of result that you're expecting it to produce. But at some point, it stops being enough. It stops being enough at some point. And that is why we want to talk about why it may not be enough. Now, there is new levels as a leader. You got a new promotion, you opened a new business, you got a new opportunity, you got a new raise at work, more responsibility, you got visibility at work, new levels, right? But what is undergirding that new level is the whole structure. Many people enter the new level of leadership, but they are still operating with the old structure. And that mismatch is where the pressure starts. That's where it begins. That pressure of what am I going? That pressure of you need to meet up with what the new level is bringing to you. But the structure that has carried you to that place no longer serves. So you're doing more, but your life isn't designed for what you are now carrying. Your life has not yet caught up with the responsibilities that you are now carrying. And that is where the problem is. That is where the issue is. That is why we are discussing what we are discussing this evening. Now, I want to define the ceiling to you. I want to define the ceiling to you. A leadership ceiling is not when you stop growing. It is when your current structure can no longer carry your next level in simple terms. So you're putting in the effort, you have your skill. Because if you're going to experience the awesomeness of under of if you're going to experience the awesomeness of a new level of what a new level is bringing to you, a new level of success, what it is bringing to you, there has to be a match between your effort and your skill and then your structure. You can't just start at effort and skill because that usually brings in the visibility, the promotion, but then your structure has to match it. So every level introduces that new problem of the structure that has to carry that new level. So you're progressing, but it feels heavier, right? You're progressing, but it feels heavier. It feels like you're not moving forward. It feels like it feels tighter, like everything is tight. And that is not a place where you want to, because when you're operating from that place, you can't give your best, and you can't sustain at that level. You can't sustain success at that level. You can't give your best when the pressure is high. You can't give your best when all you know to do is what you've been doing. Are you with me now? So it gives you wrong, that wrong, um, that wrong carriage. How you can carry it, it carries it, you don't carry it rightly. Are you with me? Is somebody with me? Are you listening to me tonight? Right? So early on, your effort solves problem, and then your skills also solves problems. But the higher the levels, your biggest problem then becomes structural. And if you don't recognize that shift, you keep applying the wrong solution. You keep applying the wrong solution. You don't want it to be that the only thing you have to do, or let me say, the only solution you know how to do is just adding more responsibilities. And some people think it's maybe discipline, or maybe you feel you're lazy. And the truth is, you're not. You feel that, but I was doing this before. What is going on? You keep applying the wrong solution to the issue at hand, right? And that is why we say this is called the leadership ceiling, when your current structure can no longer carry your next level. Are you with me? Are you with me? Are we together? Just stay with me today. So the issue, what is the issue here? You're doing well. But everything depends on you. You're doing so well. On the outside, everybody sees the promotion, everybody sees the social media buzz, everybody sees the new launch, everybody congratulates you, especially maybe when you go on Instagram or on LinkedIn, because that is the playing field of many professionals. And you quickly rush to open the Instagram, sorry, the LinkedIn post that says, I'm happy to announce that I have now achieved this, which is good. We congratulate you. You see all the congratulatory messages coming in. Congratulations, congratulations. But behind the scenes, how are you really feeling? What pressure is that new level given to you? Because everything depends on you. Now that you have new responsibilities, you can't throw away the old ones, because it's like a layer added to what is given to you. And this is what then becomes to feel like the ceilings. And I'm going to introduce to you tonight the 4 leadership ceilings. And there are things that you probably know, but you have not just paid attention to. There are things that you know, but you have not paid attention to. The 4 leadership ceilings. Who is ready for it? Put it in the comment section if you can hear me. 4 leadership ceilings. 4 leadership ceilings. Put it in the comments if you are with me and you're ready to hear this. 4 leadership ceilings. There are 4 common ways this ceiling shows up. 4 common ways. And most people, especially if you're here right now, you're experiencing at least 2. At least 2 of it. At least 2 of those feelings, those ceilings, you're already experiencing it now. And by the time I'm done, you're going to confirm to me in the comments. You're going to tell me which of the ceilings you are going through, or that you're experiencing currently. Who's ready for it? Ceiling 1, the ceiling of time. The time ceiling. The first of this ceiling is time. And you can see in this picture how time just flies. You know, when you keep saying, is it the same 24 hours? What are we going to do in these 24 hours? No margin, everything feels urgent. You always feel like you're catching up. You always have deadlines. You always have to stay up so that you can catch up with deadlines. You always have to, like, there's so much going on. Everything feels urgent. Hey, you need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. You simply cannot fit more into your life. because of time, right? Because of time. You are always catching up. Everything feels urgent. It feels like you can't catch your breath. And it is not because you are disorganized, because you are, in fact, people that see you, I see you as organized, very organized. And I can tell you that I can relate with this. I can relate with it. So I'm not telling you something that is abstract or that I have not experienced. I have. In fact, some I can say very, very recently, I still did. That it feels like everything needs to be done right now. It feels like everything cannot fit into it right now. And because your structure is full, you don't really have a real solution for it. Your structure is full. Your structure is full. Your structure for it is currently wrong. And so the first ceiling is the time ceiling. Tell me in the comment section if this is you, if you are experiencing the time ceiling, if you can confess in the comment section that you're experiencing the time ceiling. Now, who's ready for the second one? The second one, the second ceiling is what I call the responsibility ceiling. The responsibility ceiling. And this is where too much sits with you. Too much sits with you. You are the one people always depend on. You are the one always holding things together. You are the one everything eventually comes back to. Everything. You are always needed. If you are not there to give instruction, nothing moves. If you are not there, nothing happens. If you don't say anything on that group for 1 week, nobody's going to say anything, even though there are leaders there. If you don't say, let us do this, nobody does anything. You are always needed. You don't have that structure that keeps things rolling, even when you have to step back. Even when you go on a vacation, you are really not on a vacation, because things fall apart. Things will fall apart. You're still like, I need to check my email. I need to check my notifications. You can't shut down your emails. You can even shut down social media because maybe it's distraction. But you can't shut down your email. You must always check your emails. You must always say, let me quickly just reply. Let me quickly just reply. Because if you don't reply, nobody else will. Do you see it? So everything comes back to you. Everything comes back to you. Some people are in the waiting room. I just admitted them. TikToker, please keep an eye on it. Thank you. All right. So everything comes back to you. So this is what I call the responsibility ceiling. And you know that it is not actually bad that you have responsibilities. But it gets to that point where so many things are always at your level that you can't delegate it. No. Right. If this is you, you can just admit. It's good to admit if this is you. Just put it in the comment section. This is me. This is so me. This is so me. Ah, okay, okay. Sorry about that. I'm just seeing your message. Tim Toko, let me do that now. Thank you for notifying me. All right. Sorry, excuse me. I need to quickly make our admin co-host. I thought I did earlier on. I don't know why I can't find the. Okay, I think oh, good. I hope you all can see what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay. All right. That's done now. Thank you. So let's continue very quickly. Now let's move to the third ceiling. Let's move to the third ceiling. The third ceiling. Who is ready for the third ceiling? Now, The third ceiling is what I call the decision ceiling. The decision ceiling. Too many decisions depend on you. You have this constant mental load. Your mind is always on. Even in your dream, your mind is on. You're constantly switching contexts. You're constantly thinking about it. What should we do when we get to office tomorrow? You never switch off. And when you're even resting, something is awaiting for your decision. You can't even rest with two eyes closed. And this in itself creates its own, kind of exhaustion. It creates its own kind of, you are exhausted because you're always thinking. Always, your mind never rests. Your mind is it's never at rest. Once you sleep and once you wake up, you're still thinking about it. You're still thinking about so many things. So your mind is never at rest because you need to make a decision and you're scared, you're afraid. Will my decision be right? Will my decision be beneficial for every staff member or every of the board members or something like that? You're constantly, constant mental load, always thinking, always overthinking, right? And this is not the kind of exhaustion you want for yourself. And you really, this decision ceiling is like, we know that we always want to operate in the strategic level as leaders, as professionals, and all of that. Let me tell you, let me explain to you. Decision ceiling is when you have maxed out your capacity to always make decisions for everyone. You've maxed it out. It has gone, it has become something that now disturbs you rather than providing solution to a problem. It has now become an issue to you. Do you understand? When you always have to be the one to make decisions. And let me give you this sample. I remember when I was one of my past where I'd worked before some years ago, and I reported directly to the managing director, and I was the head of HR and admin at the same time. I can say I reached decision ceiling. But beyond that, one thing I also noticed was that everyone came to me. And here was my boss, who I reported to at that time, before when I had just resumed. She made every decision. She literally made every decision. Every decision, it had to go through her as the managing director. She had to make decisions. And so because of the kind of work that office that we were, or the kind of industry, she had to make trips out of the country once or twice in a year to make resource to, source for the things that had to be done, right? And many of those times, whenever she traveled, she was always in a different time zone to Nigeria, very different time zones. But she would have walked all through the day, going around the markets, making sure she's getting resources, meeting with manufacturers and all of those things during the day. And during the day, there was the night, night time for our own time. So when she's now ready to sleep, that's when we wake up and then we start to call her to say, hello, ma, with this one is happening. The driver wants to do this. Oh, we want to buy this. Oh, this and that. Oh my God, it wore her out, I can tell you. So there was now this trip she went for after I had spent a couple of months. And we didn't call her for like 2 or 3 days. So the day we were going to talk, she was like, now what is going on? That you mean you guys have not called me in 3 days? And I was like, hey, ma, I was just thinking. She said, no, it's good though. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been looking forward to. That at least I'll be able to have my peace for 2 full days. That is what it means to to be able to have decision ceiling. She had gotten to that point where she didn't have a life, and the office didn't have a life outside her decisions. But once she was able to create a structure that somebody was there to be able to make the kind of decision, at least not all, but those kind of decisions on her behalf, and the office will not collapse before she came back. Then she was able to get good rest. Do you understand it? But because she didn't have that structure in place before then, it it took a toll on her and even on the business itself. She was never resting. As CEO, MD, she had to come to the office every day. She had to be attending to petty things. But once there was somebody there that could make those, decisions, she could focus on only the strategic things. She could only focus on what will move the company forward. Do you understand? So we need to get it that as a leader, you could experience what we call the decision ceiling. Now, the fourth one, we've done the third one. The fourth one is what I call the support ceiling. The fourth ceiling is the support ceiling. And this is where you don't have enough structure or support around you. Tell me about it if this is you. You don't have enough structure or support around you. You're still doing things you shouldn't be doing at your level. You don't have enough delegation. You don't have enough buffer. So everything flows back to you. Every single thing flows back to you. Everything. No support. No anything. You always have to be the one to do everything. You don't. So you've maxed out the support structure that you created for your previous level. You've maxed it out. So you can no longer um understand what is going on. You understand? And this part you can even break down, because if you don't have support, it could start to affect and impact your health. It could start to affect and impact your health. Do you understand it? Now let's move on very quickly. Now there's what I call the misdiagnosis. Most people misread this moment. Most people misread this moment. You think, I need to work harder. I need to be more disciplined. I need to manage my time better. I need to push it a bit harder. But that's not even the issue anymore. That's not the issue anymore. It's not about you being more disciplined. As a matter of fact, like I've said before, you are probably really very disciplined for you to have gotten to the point where you are right now. So you're not lazy. You are disciplined. You know what you're doing. If we look at your CV and your experiences, yes, you've got something going. You've got a lot going for you. So you misread this moment. You think that, okay, maybe I'm not doing enough, or maybe I'm not disciplined, but that is not the issue. So what is the issue? What is the issue here? You cannot outwork a structural problem. That is what the issue really is. At this level, effort stops solving the problem. Effort stops doing what? Solving the problem, because you cannot outwork a structural limitation. You can't outwork a structural limitation. More effort just makes you more tired, right? More discipline just increases pressure. Maybe because how much more discipline do you want to give yourself? I'm going to sleep early, I'm going to wake up early, and then you plan to sleep early, you still have to attend to your family, you have to attend to your children, you have to respond to emails or send out emails as soon as possible. You have to do all of that. So you are saying, okay, maybe if I do this, maybe if I eat like this, or maybe if I do exercise, or that's just putting yourself in a lot of pressure. But that is not what it is. It's not about doing more. Because if you have that same structure, is going to give you, is going to still be the same thing. You're going to get the same result from the structure that you have before. So it is no longer a discipline problem. It is a structural problem. And if your structure doesn't change, nothing really changes. Nothing really changes. Your growth is now limited by what your life carry. And that is where we're really going. It is what your life carry now that is the problem. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Your life carrying whatever you're carrying right now, whatever responsibilities you have right now, whatever position um you find yourself right now, it should be something that propels you for greater things, right? It shouldn't be limiting you. But the reason why it limits you is the structure. The structure, it is not carrying it well. So it now looks like, why did I even take this promotion? Why did I even take this job? Why didn't I just stay in the place where I was? Right? So your intelligence is still there. Your intelligence did not limit you. It brought visibility to you. Your ambition did not limit you because it made you to reach out for more. But your structure is now limiting you. And that is where we're really going today. That is what is really causing all of the ceilings that you may be feeling right now. And you don't need less ambition. No, you don't need less ambition. Ambition is good, especially when it is aligned with your life's purpose. When it is aligned with your life's purpose, your assignments, and your vision. You don't need less ambition. You need to be able to reach out for more. What you need is a better structure, right? It's not a bad place to be, actually. When you are finding yourself reaching out for more, it's a sign of growth. It's a sign that, okay, where you are right now, you need to expand. And it means that you have reached a level where your life needs to be redesigned, not just managed. You don't want to just be managing your life. You want to be able to redesign your life. Sorry about that. So it's not about less ambition. It's about better structure that can support that ambition. So what are the real questions? What are the real questions that you want to answer tonight or that you want to sit with? What should I? It's not about how do I do more? No. What how do I do more? You're already doing a lot as it is. So the question is, what should I no longer be carrying? What should I no longer carry at my level? Right? What should I no longer be carrying? What should not depend on me anymore? You should be able to answer these questions. And sometimes it's really hard. It's really hard. It's really hard because everything, especially when everything feels really important. But it can't be that you are the only one that is the alpha and omega of everything that has to be done in your life and in your responsibilities, and even in your leadership role. What needs to be redesigned? What do you need to redesign? What do you need to redesign in your life? What do you need to work on? What do you need to change? And then what needs to be protected? What do you know that this one, nothing can happen to it? If this one collapses, every other thing will collapse. You need to recognize what those things are. Because when you recognize what needs to be protected, then you should know what you should not carry and what you need to release as a leader. Most people just try to cope. Most leaders just try to cope so they don't look like things fall apart. However, very few people redesign their structure. Very few. Everybody just wants to do to-do lists and productivity acts, which are good. You want to you want to make sure you're arranging your calendar. If it's not calendarized, it's not done. Yes. But what should be in that calendar in the first place? What should or should not be in the calendar in the first place? These are the things that you need to pay attention to. Don't just try to cope. You shouldn't just be trying to cope. You should look at what you need to redesign. Are we together? Are we together? Are we still together? Drop a comment. Tell me, which of the leadership ceilings do you think is really, really, that you can really resonate with tonight? Tell me. Hard. Awesome. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. Let's continue. Now, try, I don't know if, anyway, let's continue. Now, in the midst of all of this, you can already see where you are, and that is your signal. And that was why I asked that which of these leadership siblings applies to you. You can already see where you are. You can already see where you need help. You don't need another idea. No, it's not about another idea. You don't need to sit down and you don't need to sit down and say, what more should I do? What you really need is to sit down and look at your life properly and structurally. You want to say, what should I be doing? I already gave you the questions. In fact, if you don't do any other thing today, if you don't proceed further in this call, I want you to have this at the back of your mind. Those questions that I said that was in the previous or the 2 slides ago. These questions, if you can answer them, it will really go a long way. It will really go a long way if you can answer those questions. So you need to say it. Look at your life as if it's a design, as if it's an architecture, and see what you need to, what do, and ask, what do I need to do? What do I need to restructure? Are we together? And this is why this is what I do in the private leadership sessions that I have with leaders. And that is what I'm inviting you for tonight. And what are we going to be doing in this structural session, in this leadership structure session? We're going to be mapping out your current session. Some of it, the truth is, even though I'm giving you the questions to go and look at, you really might not see it until you sit with somebody who can look at you and tell you frankly what you're not doing right. And who will map out your current structure, what you're currently doing. We'll look at everything from an area of you, not just from one side. And then we'll be able to identify your ceilings. And then when we identify your ceilings, we are then able to redesign what your life should actually look like for your current level, not your previous one. We map your ceilings, we design your structure, and we build for your next level. Who is excited about that? Who is excited about that? And this structural session is just for 45 minutes. Nothing long. We'll go straight to the point. We look at everything that you're doing currently in your life, and we look at what we need to redesign, what we need to restructure. And then, like I said before, we look at what we can then do better to prepare you, to make you more structurally ready for the level that you are, for your current responsibilities, for your current roles. And this will be that this will mean that I'm giving you checklists, I'm helping you map out, I'm reviewing your checklist with you as much as possible, and all that, all within this 45 minutes. And you know the change that this is going to bring to your life. It's going to save you your health. It's going to save you time. It's going to be able to make you have time for things that are more important in your life as a leader, as a professional, as somebody who is who carries multiple responsibility. And it may look like all this thing will not be expensive and all of that. Well, it should be expensive because I mean you already have access to this webinar for free. So what do you think? It's going to be expensive. However, because I want so many of you to be able to have access to, even if it's just this 45 minutes, because you need this to restructure and redesign your life. This session would usually, sorry about that, we usually go for £297 or $297 or 297,000 naira if you are in Nigeria. However, I'm opening it up for 5 people for just £97 or 97,000 naira or $97. And it is just for 5 people, the first 5 people that will book this while we're on this call or while you're watching this replay, the first 5 people that will book in this um this one-time offer. And see, once the 5 people are complete, it goes back to 297. And who knows? Maybe after some time, it's going to go to another one and it's not going to be just 297 anymore. It's going to go higher because the value you're going to get is way more than whatever amount that you're seeing as putting in as an investment. And I limit this to just 5 people because it's a lot of work. Yes, it's deep work. It is focus work, right? And someone is going to be dropping the link now. You're going to be dropping the link. Kindly drop the link for those that are interested in doing this. And I want to encourage you to take this leap for yourself. Take this leap for yourself. You can also scan this QR code on the screen. Scan the QR code on the screen, and then it takes you there. 45 minutes is a reset session, is a redesign session, is a leadership structure session, and it's going to be worth your time, I can tell you. Should I keep this on the screen? And then you can also drop the link in the comments so that people can have access to it. And at some point, you need to understand that you need to go beyond, I'll just attend the webinar. I will just attend the webinar and that's it. No, don't let that be you. You can go further to invest in yourself if you really want to see real results. And with this, I would say, if your structure doesn't change, your next level will feel heavier and not better. You don't want that to be you. At some point, your growth requires redesign, and that is really the work. It requires redesign. Sometimes you think you can redesign it yourself, but really, what you need is help to be able to help you look at what the things that you even consider as important in your life right now, but they really are not. So why don't you look at it and say, okay, I need this help. Let me come in for this. Let me take a chance. Let me take this chance on myself so that I can understand the deep work behind all of this. And I can't wait to have you in the room with me, of course, virtually, and then so that we can break down whatever is not structurally right in your design right now. And with this, I've come to the close of today, right? I've come to the close of today, and I hope you learned something. You took something away from this webinar. We hope that you learned, yes, something from this webinar. We don't have a link. Okay, yes, it's there. Why does it keep going back? Yeah, so you can connect with me here. Connect with me here. You can scan the code. It takes you to my personal space where you see my products, my services. Follow me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and then watch our videos as well on YouTube. You're going to learn so much, especially on this journey of leadership, of purposeful leadership. Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy to be here, and we'll see you again next month. Make sure you're here. This is a monthly webinar, and I'm sure you're going to have a good time. I don't know if anyone has a question. I've stopped sharing. I don't know if anyone has a question. If you have a question, let me know. Let me know if you have a question, and then we can call it a night or call it an evening. Let me know. All right, I don't think anyone has a question. All right, in the absence of question, thank you.